Hey there, it's Jeremy with the Level Designer, and I'm here for I think it's my third video for this week for Blocktober. And if you haven't watched my channel before, basically, this month for October, I'm participating in this thing called Blocktober, which is a month-long just event that will allow me to do some level design skills and some blocking some levels out. So I set aside a few projects for each week this month, and last week we worked in Unity on an open world kind of starting area for a game with the theme of Viking zombies, and then we also are working in Unreal this week on a first-person shooter with the theme of Trick or Treat. So that's kind of what we're doing. And yesterday what we did was we went through and we started to kind of block out and lay out a level for this trick-or-treating map, and we have a cool, kind of bucket and tossing candy at different kids, and that's kind of the theme we're going with. So we have a good start, but I really want to try to nail down kind of the planning of gameplay elements. Specifically, where players are going to respawn, where people will be able to basically reload. So, in like Call of Duty, you just reload your gun, and if you run out of ammo, I know some games will have enemies drop ammo. Other times, you can just pick up an enemy's gun, and it just kind of refills. But with this, particularly, what I had the idea of doing was you would actually have to go trick-or-treating to get more candy. So, we're not going to really build out this system right, in this series or anything, but we're going to kind of keep it in mind, and we're going to kind of design around that mechanic. So, let's say that the mechanic is planning to be a feature for this game that we're working on. So that is kind of what we're going to plan around. So, maybe there's going to be a counter in the HUD, and whenever you are running low on candy or you're out of candy, like say a house, over a period, over the time that, is going on in this game, maybe every 10 to 15 seconds, there are, or maybe even every 30 to 40 seconds, maybe a house on kind of each side of the map. So maybe like this house, and then this house and this house, for 10 to 15 seconds lights up, and who's ever in that area that needs more candy ammo, they can go up to the porch and trick or treat. And this could be as simple as going up to the front door and just pressing like R for reload, and you just get more. Or if you're clever enough, maybe you could put in a little cutscene of you going to the house and refilling on that ammo. So again, that's kind of something that, if this was a real project, you'd want to, kind of test those features, kind of after you lay out the level and everything. So again, we're not going to be too worried about the mechanic itself, but we do want to keep in mind that the mechanic in our case does exist. So we need to keep that in mind, and we can make some plans as well as what houses should be tagged for. This house is a house that could be lit up for ammunition later down the road. So I kind of started laying things out, which is a fine kind of thing, but it's kind of bland right now. And what I would recommend before you go into any sort of level like this, especially with the first person shooter, is I'd go into a photo, like Photoshop or a photo editing software, because you want to really lay out, the sort of the level itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to make just a simple diagram, and we'll kind of refer back to what we kind of already have going on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a green box. And this green box is going to represent the park in the middle. So I'm just going to select green, and then I'm just going to make a box right here. And then this will make a box that you could use. And this is just a quick, this is just going to be a quick kind of thing in Photoshop that we're going to do. And then you can kind of match it up with what we have already. So you can kind of see that it's not necessarily like a straight square. It's kind of a more of a rectangle. But we could kind of manipulate that a bit. So we kind of have the park that's in the middle. And if you want to, size this down and make this, just map bigger or smaller, you're free to do whatever. But that's going to be our park right there. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I'm going to color this background something a bit different. So I'm going to go to the paint bucket tool. I'm going to select maybe like a gray or something. I think a little bit lighter would probably be better. I think. Yeah, that's fine. So we have the park here. So next, what we need is all of the houses, because that's kind of the next logical part with this. So what we kind of have going here is we have 6 houses on either side of this. But actually, let's do this. Before we do that, let's just lay out the roads. Yeah, let's lay out the roads real fast. So we'll have this be kind of a much more darker color. So if we go into the square again, we're just gonna make some roads. That's really not what I wanted. That's what I wanted, yes. And we'll just duplicate this and then just put it right here. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a lighter color for the houses. So we're just gonna go back into this tool right here. We're gonna select. Nope, that's not what I want. I'm just gonna make a new. I'm gonna make this kind of a squared. I'm just gonna color it white. Okay, there we go. And there's this one right here. There's this one, and this one. And we might, yeah, we probably should expand on this. Again, we can always expand and do different things. So we just use the crop tool and we're just expanding on this map. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go back to this background color and I'm going to paint it in. And these really need to be much more out. I think that's fine. And then we'll copy these. What I want to do though is, I don't know, I kind of want to fix this. So we're going to kind of adjust some things. I think what we have right now, I think the park area in itself is a bit too small. What I might end up doing is I might expand the park and make it longer, and then move these houses probably to where right in front of these houses, and then move these houses back, and then just expand on the area. I might keep, you know, everything relatively the same right now. Just add more to the outer skirts of the park itself. So I'm gonna kind of plan for that, because what I want is I do want kind of I do kind of want a bigger front yard area for these houses. So it probably won't be by much, but I do feel like they definitely need to be much bigger, the front yards. And this park needs to be much more bigger too. So yeah, that's kind of good. Might move these up just a bit. Might move these there. Again, you just want to get a good space for everything. We're gonna move these and then have these kind of go the same size. And with these, I'm gonna really move these outward like that. I'm gonna select everything that I have here, and I'm just gonna move it down more. And I'm gonna move this kind of to the middle. And another thing I want to try to make sure I do in this level is match up these houses. So what I need to try to do is allocate for like lot size. So if we have these two houses here, I want to make sure that they kind of fit like that. Which I don't think that there's really, I don't think it's looking too good right now. So it probably would have to move a lot of this stuff. So like right here, you probably need to move this more over here. Move this more over here. Move this more in front of this right there. Make things a little bit more aligned. And we should have this house kind of more like right here. More like right here. More like right here. So these houses right here, say this house should match up to this, and vice versa. Make it look, you know, uniform and the same. And you could also duplicate these and then have those go right there. And then, yeah, this park needs to get bigger. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click the brush editing. We're just gonna go to the geometry in case we need it again this video, but I am gonna click this and I am gonna drag this out and just really try to align it up. I am gonna try to leave as much space as possible, but I think that's good. So we have that going. Another thing that I want to, no, I don't want to play. Another thing that I want to try to accomplish is, let me get out of here. Select, yes. So I'm gonna move these streets all the way out here, just to give these houses much more of a front yard space. I'm gonna do the same thing with this over here. So 13, 16, and 15. So we'll select all of these. And we'll move it over here. And then these houses, what is it, 16 to 25? So these, I am going to, oh, wait, what? Okay. I don't know. We'll just select these the good old-fashioned way. So these I am going to move back. Again, I'm trying to give more space to all of these houses. So that that's going to look good. These I'm just going to get rid of. So I'm just going to select all of these houses. I'm just going to delete them. And then I'm just going to select all these. See if, okay, I'll select them again. What? Oh my gosh. Okay. Can I? No. I was like, can I select them all at once? No, I can't. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate these. I'm going to spin these around by 180 degrees. And I'm going to move these all the way over. And I'm going to move them kind of right on this line, actually, probably be good. And again, I want to make sure that these are kind of lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. I'll just try to take a look. I think they're still a bit... Yeah, I think that's much better. Maybe might need to move them a little bit. All right, so we have that going. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do in this picture. So I'm gonna duplicate these, put them on this side. I'm I'm gonna save this. Yeah. Let me bring that over. I just want to save that so I have it for future reference. So we're gonna go and expand this park again. So we're gonna go back to our brush editing mode, and then we're going to go in here and just select these sides, and then we're going to just expand on this. So go in here, select this side. We can bring this out like that. Again, maybe leave a little bit of space, but it doesn't have to be too much. And we'll do the same over here. If I can select it, there we go. So I have that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and select. Let me see. That's 11. Nope. That's 12. That's 11. So 12 and 11. I'm just gonna move back to this point right here. Just have that be kind of there. And then for 6 and 7, no, 5 and 6. We're just gonna move that over here. Again, we might want to make this a lot more centered, so or we don't necessarily have to. We can kind of keep it off center a bit, make it not everything has to be totally symmetrical. But with that in mind, But with that in mind, since that side is kind of on this side, I am going to move these over here. So it does kind of have symmetry a bit, but it's not entirely symmetrical. Like, it's symmetrical, but it's not like totally down the middle, if that makes sense. Okay, I just need to take a look and make sure that this... Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this all the way back here. And what we could do now is we can move this... Nope, that's not what I want. We'll select this side. We'll move this all the way over here. And we're not going to move any of the tree. I mean, we'll probably add trees later, but we're not going to worry about that too much. I just want to get the size of this park nailed down before we go much into other stuff. So right now I'm just I'm going back and closing this park space. I think this will allow the park to feel much bigger. I definitely think it will. And we'll do the other side here next. Oh. Come on, select. Thank you. That might not be perfect, but we can always, you know, go back and change things later if need be. Actually, I think this might have got... Yeah, I don't know. It might not be entirely accurate, but... So now what we might want to do is we will move some of this. Again, we want to make sure that things, for the most part, aren't so bleh. So we're we're gonna choose that and then that. And we're gonna move this. Actually, if this is yeah, if that's gonna be there, let's move this tree. We'll move this merry-go-round that I created in Blender, and then we'll move the slide. I might even move the, whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay. I might even move the slide a bit this way. That way there's enough room for people to go into here. So now what we do is we do have a kind of a bigger park area, which feels a lot more roomy. So I do like that. And as far as like the streets go, like all of these houses feel like they have a good front yard. So that's good. I'm liking that. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that. And then I'm gonna go back into my Photoshop here, and like this doesn't really look like so much of a map, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the crop, and I'm gonna really just expand the sides of these, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to at least get a good outline of the outside of the level. So we have this right here. I'm gonna go back into the background layer, and then I'm going to fill it up with my paint bucket. So we have these houses here, and we have the streets, and that's kind of what our level in Unreal looks like right now. So we do need to add to this. I will say that I will get rid of some of this, so we don't have that, and we don't have that. And that's something that we have used to create a bit of a different kind of thing. And actually what I'm going to do is, instead of deleting that, I am going to go and fill this up with just with the purple. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Because that's kind of like our store, right? So I do want to kind of make an indication that we have this kind of store going on. It might be a bit off right now, but that's fine. But we want to make sure that we have spawn points. And the idea I had about spawn points is we need to really figure out where they're going to go. And we need to make it, again, we kind of need to make it symmetrical. So, you know, we have these buildings right now. So what I was thinking was, what we need to do is we need to draw. Do I have like a paintbrush or something? Cool. I'm gonna use a red brush. I'm just gonna go to the very top here. I'm gonna call this draw layer. And this is where I'm just gonna draw some stuff. So what we need is cool. So what we need is some spawn areas. So I was thinking blue can be one team. And I was thinking of putting blue spawn right here. And then the other team will be yellow. I was thinking of putting their spawn right here. So what we could do is we could go in and select the ellipse tool, and then we can just make yellow circles. We'll make another one for blue up here. So let's just have that be blue. So those are going to be our spawn points. But we want to have something kind of there to signify that, where the spawn point is. And one of the things that I was thinking of doing was, I'll make a bluish kind of, maybe light blue square. And what I'm gonna do really is, no, is I'm gonna make like, I'll make just a building thing here. I'm gonna move this around. And you could always move these around and make them different sizes and whatnot. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to just give kind of a good sense of the layout. So you have the spawn here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this draw layer for now. And this could be like a elementary school. And actually, I'm gonna make a note of that. So I'm gonna go in here. I'm just gonna put elementary school. And I think I have my caps. I have my caps on. Elementary school. I'll be closed, of course, and everything. So I'm just going to make a note that that's going to be an elementary school, and that could be a good indication of the type of, building that we have to basically make. And actually, what I'm going to actually do rather than that is I'm going to select all this, and I'm just going to move it over. Because what we need to do is we need to plan the streets out a little bit more better. What I mean by that is these streets that we have are not going to go on forever. We need to cut these off. So I am going to make a draw layer, and I'm going to make this red. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out these roads. So what we could place here is we could place maybe a traffic jam, some barricades. We could put something in here that will allow people to not go outside of the bounds of the area. And what we also need is we need I'm going to use black for this, but we need some borders. So we could use people's fences as a border. Maybe there's some backyards that are available and some that are not. But that's kind of what we should be kind of playing around with. So maybe not everybody's backyard is accessible, but maybe a few are. And we can really play around with level layout with that too. And maybe some of them will have like a pool or something, so that's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna hit shift and really straighten these out. Just so it looks cleaner. There you go. So that's kind of the first step that we're gonna do is we're just going to plan out. Hey, some of these houses are gonna have like fences in their backyards. It will be a great way to create some boundaries and create some other kind of stuff. And what we could do is also, well, these are going to be kind of more alleyways, so we'll kind of approach that issue in a bit. But what we could do is maybe instead of that house, and we can figure out what's going to be in the yellow spawn later. But so what I did here, and I want to kind of talk about this a bit, but I kind of used symmetry in a asymmetric way. So again, things are symmetrical. You have 3 backyards on each side, and you have 2 backyards on this side, but there's 2 backyards opposite of this side. As there's one on this side of the park over here, but there's one over here. But I still managed to make them all kind of different and spread them out in a different layout. So, you know, maybe I'm going to take out my eraser. First, I'm going to get rid of this. But what this could do as well is maybe there's a hole in the fence here, right? And then maybe what this is these are closed off, but these aren't. So you can go through here and go through here, but you can't go over here. And of course, you know, we'll try to make doors and everything on each one of these. But we want to try to make sure that they all are kind of either enclosed or not. And I mean, this is going to all look kind of like this anyway. So, you know, when we're modeling and things, we're really gonna try to have every single house have a backyard. But we want to make sure that there are different ones. So I'm going to create another layer, and I'm going to call this BG for background. And I'm going to lighten up one of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to make an indicator that of the backyards that are going to be, available. That's not what I wanted. I'm just going to put this all the way to the bottom, just so it's right there. And again, you don't have to be I'm pretty good at art. Like, I can really draw if I really take the time and try my best. But right now, I'm just scribbling things on here, just kind of more for an example. But what I'm doing now is I'm trying to draw out, you know, kind of the layout of everything. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to really draw that out. I don't like that. That's too big. Why is everything so huge right now for me? So I'm going to just draw this all out right here. I'm going to draw all of these different backyards. There we go. But again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to color out, just as a layout guide, I'm going to color out, okay, what are going to be the areas that are going to be open for us to go into. And right now I'm just trying to establish like a visual language for just the general layout of the map. And this is very important, especially, you know, especially kind of at a glance. You know, this is really handy to give your artist and other kind of people on your team so they kind of understand the full layout of the map. So, we kind of have houses going, and I like how we're using the elementary school, and there could be, you know, a parking lot right there. It could be anything really, but we've closed it out. So what we could do is we could use one of these over here. And this could be... What? Not another elementary school. We already have that. But what I'm gonna have this be is I was gonna have this be a police station. And right over here, we can have that be closed off. And of course, when you're, you know, modeling or figuring out the shape of these buildings, they don't actually have to all be exact. But I'm just trying to build out a general layout right now to kind of as a reference of, okay, what is going to be all the different kind of features of our map. So we have that. Let's just do a post office. We're going to try to keep it relatively kind of short and simple. So we have the school, post office, and then next what we could do kind of move this out a bit. Right here, we could have a grocery store. So those are kind of just some ideas that we can use to just outline different things. We have kind of some different backyards. So there's different areas. But what about right here? We don't really want anyone to just go through there. So I think what I was gonna have for these is I was gonna put a small block of normal retail stores here. So I'm gonna color this kind of light blue. I'm gonna have a black stroke around this so it's a little bit more easier to see. But I'm gonna really just kind of move that down and then move that over. I move that down. I'm gonna copy that. So we could have like retail stores here. And then, you know, retail stores, we can just create very just simple blocks. of different sizes, and then we can go into detail, but maybe later once you're actually making the artwork, or if you know this was kind of based off of some current concept art. Maybe the concept art had like, oh, there's a just a flower shop, or there's just different kinds of little stores that you're trying to think of what would this neighborhood be like in kind of a real sense. What you want to think about, kind of kind of what we're making here, which is a neighborhood. Like, what would it feel like living in this area? So you want to make sure that you have stuff like a school, police station, so we can really incorporate that kind of community in a map like this. And we don't have to go so in depth with all of the kind of nuances of who works at these places and whatnot, of course. But we want them to feel kind of in place in this world. And the good thing too with the theme that we're doing is this is going to be something that will probably take place at night, so a lot of these places are going to be closed. So you won't be able to get into any of these kind of service areas. And then with the retail stores and whatnot, and especially like maybe the grocery store, around the front yards and the backyards, like we could really go. You could really go crazy with like all of the Halloween decoration. Make it really just these stores might have like orange lights strung up, and then have like a bunch of sale signs for like Halloween candles if they sell something like that, or costumes. And we could have like costume stores in here, and really make it like a Halloween type of thing. And that's kind of the cool thing about this idea is we could really play around with different ideas, and really kind of go from there. So I think with that in mind, I think that we're gonna kind of stop the video. I'm gonna save this before I quit. But I think we got a good amount of at least planning accomplished today. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know. What is gonna what this is gonna look like in a week. But I think tomorrow what we'll try to do is we'll try to at least get this kind of outlined tomorrow in the actual level, and we will try to work on maybe expanding on this graphic a little bit more, and seeing what can we do to make things stand out and look really cool, because we could do a lot of things with this map. We can add in, and I was thinking of like, we need cover. There needs to be like cover areas where, these kids can, cover behind, boxes or something. And then we also need to incorporate some areas where we could, have players get a higher ground on other people. And the challenge with that is with kids. Kids can't really. I mean, kids climb on things. But you can't. If you go on like if you had a second story, building, you wouldn't be able to go onto a second story and peek out the window because the window's going to be too high. So I think with like that, as far as like height advantage and stuff, is we can play around with like these kind of buildings right here, where maybe right here, instead of just it be this, there could be a box. And with this box, you could go in and jump on it. So if we just test this real fast, we go in and we could jump on it. We'd probably have to really expand the jump a bit. Or maybe there's just like another block here, and we can just jump on that and jump on that, and then we can peer over. So we could actually probably test that real fast. And maybe these can be in the store, right? Because this is kind of a small little store that we are going to be using. So maybe in this particular store that we've created here, again, I want to kind of make sure that this has the halfway point. So if this was a store, I mean, these could be like inventory crates or something like that. And we can kind of get it to the point where if you're a kid and you're playing and you're jumping around and you're trying to get rid of people, you know, you could go into this little store here, and there could be like a small little parking lot here. How about maybe you could jump on here? It might. It's kind of hard, I guess. Yeah, there we go. And maybe even jump on here. And, you know, this could be a height advantage that you could use. It's not very practical from here, but you could lower this window. And, you know, if you're walking over here, maybe there's a kid up here shooting at you, so you have to figure out, you know, how to get in here. And that's another great thing that we could do, is we could add in a like a back door here. So if you wanted to do that, you could just duplicate one of these boxes here and just have a smaller door exist back here. So, you know, if there's a kid over there shooting out and that kind of area is well defended, you can come back here and you know, flank them or something. So we want to kind of keep those kind of principles in mind when dealing with shooters. But I think with that, we kind of had a good start on this video, and I think we did a lot. We got a lot accomplished this video. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching today, and if you want to you know, leave any feedback or you know, ask any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and also, you know, feel free to subscribe if you want to keep updated on all of my different videos and whatnot. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.